Um, of course, everybody is upset about the war and everybody is scared about what's going to happen next. It's a very uncertain situation, right? But what I can say is that the majority of people of Iran are actually feeling a glimpse of hope, of a change that they've been waiting for since 47 years. They have been told to stay in their homes and to stay safe. They know that Israel and America is not targeting them. They're targeting the IRGC and the leaders specifically. And I have spoken to my family last night, and they're fine.
They're fine. Okay. You have experienced the morality police firsthand. How does it feel to be targeted for simply being yourself? What did you say on that?
Yeah, well, it is honestly a terrible feeling that when you have a country that is so big and so beautiful and should be so diverse, but you are forced to do things as per how they're dictated. My meeting with the morality police was very scary. I was on my way to do my last set of shopping to leave for Germany again, and I was with my cousin. And that's when I was stopped on the road and I was taken in the morality police van to a place that I don't know where it is. They had taken my phone. My cousin didn't know where I'm going. I just remember my cousin being hysterical, crying and being on the phone and saying they took her. And then I just saw the van door closing and leaving. They have made life so extremely scary for people in Iran. They're shooting in broad daylight just at normal people. They are abducting women on the road. That is abducting when you take somebody for what they're wearing or what they're not wearing. Nowhere else in the world will you see anybody do that unless it's the Taliban, you know. So if we are condemning the Taliban, why are we not condemning the Islamic Republic of Iran?
Okay. And can you share a personal story about how the regime restrictions have affected your family?
Well, a personal story, I don't think it gets more personal than the fact that my parents had to fled the country. I was very young. My parents were very young. We had to leave our own country. We had to leave our house. We had to leave our families and go to a country where we didn't know anybody, where we didn't know the language, where we didn't know whether we're going to be able to make a good living or not. And this is not just my story. This is the story of 5 million Iranians abroad who are now living in America, in Canada, in Europe, in Australia. None of us wanted to leave Iran, but we had to. We were forced because life was so unbearable. It doesn't get closer than that. And now when I see how I have been able to make something out of myself and how my cousins are living in literal hell every day, it breaks my heart. I wish I could help them, but how can we remove 90 million Iranians? That's their country. They want to stay there. We wanted to stay there. So if something so terrible is happening that so many people have to leave, it means there is something. There are millions of people who are saying, we don't want this regime. So when that's happening, the world should listen.
Okay, and you have posted on social media, on your Instagram, that your family is still in Iran, and you have said that you cannot return after opposing the Islamic Republic during the 2022 protest. What did you say on this?
Yeah, because there is no freedom of speech in Iran. Everybody who has spoken against the government has been put into prison. We have thousands of political prisoners in Iran right now because they have dared to speak up against the regime.
Okay.
That's dictatorship.
Your friends also went to protest and they were killed. Missiles were even fired at children at the school. What did you want to say on this?
Well, it is heartbreaking and it should have never happened. And the worst part of it is that the Iranian government is blaming Israel and America for it, whereas it was their own missile that misfired. And there are videos of it. There is proof of it. Now the IRGC has accepted it because they saw that there are videos of it. But the world doesn't want to condemn them.
Okay. And when did you think it's time to leave Iran? What's the time?
Well, I think that's when my parents decided, and I think I was about 4 years old when I started hearing talks about we should leave Iran. This is not a safe country to be in. There is no future for our child. And I had not hit 8 years when we then decided to leave for Germany.
Okay. What message do you want to convey to Iranian women fighting for their rights?
The message that I want to convey to Iranian women and Iranian men, because it's not just women who are oppressed at this point, it's the men as well who are fighting for the rights of their women. I just want to say that I feel for them, that I know their pain, that we Iranians outside of the country are going to be their voice for as long as we can, because we know that their voices are being shut down over and over again. I want them to hold on. I want them to believe. I want them to manifest and hope for a free Iran.
मैम आपने अपने सोशल मीडिया पे भी पोस्ट किया है इंस्टाग्राम पे कि आप जो है ईरान वापस नहीं जा सकते क्योंकि 2022 में आपने वहाँ की गवर्नमेंट को अपोज किया था, उसके चलते, और फैमिली भी आपकी सेफ नहीं है, इस तरह का पोस्ट था. क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, जब फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच नहीं है ना किसी देश में, तो ये सब होता है. मैं ये सब कर सकती हूँ क्योंकि मैं एक देश में रहती हूँ अभी जहां मैं सेफ हूं, जहां मैं ओपनली बात कर सकती हूँ, बोल सकती हूँ कि ईरान में क्या चल रहा है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली जो लोग ईरान में हैं वो ये नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि अगर वो अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट कुछ भी बोले तो वो प्रिजन में चला जाएंगे. और ना तो ये प्रिजन में क्या क्या चल रहा है, इतने सारे स्टोरीज ओवर द इयर्स आए हैं सबके पास कि जो प्रिजन में चल रहा है, दे आर raping women, they are hurting the political prisoners. They're literally...
Okay. ईरान जो है वो उसकी ओर से जो मिसाइलें छोड़ी गई वो कहीं ना कहीं स्कूल में अफेक्टेड हुआ है, बच्चों की डेथ्स हुई है. क्या कहना चाहिए उस पर?
देखिए, हर एक लाइफ दैट इज लॉस्ट इज अ लॉस, खास तौर अगर वो बच्चों की है. और अनफॉर्चुनेटली वॉर में ये सब होता है, तो वॉर नहीं होना चाहिए, पहले तो ये है. पर वॉर कैसे हो गया ये भी देखना चाहिए कि एक रिजीम है जो 47 ईयर्स से डेथ टू अमेरिका बोलता है, 47 ईयर्स से डेथ टू इजराइल बोलता है, चुपके न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब बना रहा है, जो बहुत ही डेंजरस हो सकता है अमेरिका, इजराइल और बाकी दुनिया के लिए. आप मुझे बताओ, आपको न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब क्यों चाहिए? यू वांट टू वाइप ऑफ अमेरिका, यू वांट टू वाइप ऑफ इजराइल. You don't care that your own people are suffering right now while you're making the nuclear bomb. You use all of the monies that you have to make this nuclear bomb. You use all of the monies that you have for your proxies who are Hamas, Hezbollah and Houthis, just so they can attack your enemy who doesn't even do anything to you. But you're building all these proxies, you're building all of these terrorist groups, you're attacking people constantly, and then you wonder why the people who... अभी आप मुझे बता देना, अगर कोई आपको और आपके फैमिली सालों से थ्रेट करे, सालों से, और बीच बीच में आपके लोगों को भी मारे, आपके फैमिली को भी, और आप कॉन्स्टेंटली बोले रिलैक्स, स्टे आउट ऑफ इट, डोंट, और वो पीछे जाके कुछ ऐसा इतना बड़ा बनाए ताकि आपकी पूरी फैमिली को निकाल सके, तो आप आके इनको स्टॉप नहीं करोगे? आप उनको करने दोगे?
नहीं, stop.
नहीं ना.
Yes.
तो यही हो रहा है. So this war is on the shoulders of the regime, because America and Israel have been saying since years that they want a deal. Stop the missiles, stop the nuclear. Iranian people also don't want the nuclear bomb. We don't want that. So why are you making it? So the war started because of that. They did not agree. They rather put their people's life in jeopardy rather than saying, okay, we make a deal with you. Now tell me, who's at fault here? Why, when you know? First of all, why do you chant death to America? Why do you chant death to anybody? Now you've been doing it. America has come now and says, hey, enough is enough. We have to protect our people. We have to protect our country.
Exactly.
Make a deal. Tell us you will not build the nukes. You will give up the missiles. Otherwise, we will have to do something about it. And it will be war. And then you don't sign that. And your ego and your hate for America is so much bigger than the lives of your own people.
आपने ये भी कहा कि ईरानियन पीपल जो है वो वहाँ के रिजीम से ज्यादा डरता है. बॉम्बिंग और मिसाइल से इतना नहीं, लेकिन वहाँ के रिजीम से ज्यादा डरता है.
हाँ,
इसको कैसे?
हाँ, इरानियंस रिजीम से बहुत डरते हैं. पर अभी जो अगर आप देखो, इतने सारे वीडियोस हैं जो इतना हर्टफुल है. अगर आप देखो कि वो वीडियो ले रहे हैं, बॉम्बिंग हो रहा है उनके सामने, पर वो इतना खुश हैं क्योंकि उनको पता है कि वहां पे वो लोग रह रहे हैं, वो अभी मर रहे हैं और इनकी आजादी मिल जाएगी. फिर आप सोचो, आप कैसे खुश हो सकते हो जब आपके देश में बॉम्बिंग हो रहा है? आप कौन से लेवल में पहुंच गए हो कि वो एक खुशी की बात है आपके लिए? ये it's a very very sad situation. It's very heartbreaking. पर जब आपके पास दूसरा कोई ऑप्शन है नहीं, तो यही ऑप्शन आपको खुश रखेगा. और आपको पता है कि America doesn't want to kill the civilians. America doesn't have any problems with Iranians. Israel doesn't have any problem with Iranians. They are targeting those. And बाय द वे, वो स्कूल में भी जो हो गया था, वो मिसाइल इरानियन मिसाइल था. उसके वीडियोस हैं. IRGC ने खुद कंफर्म किया है कि उनका मिसफायर हो गया था. तो अभी तक इतने सारे मिसाइल्स आ गए हैं ईरान में, पर सिविलियंस को टारगेट नहीं किया है. तो इरानियंस उनका सेफ्टी, जितना सेफ वो अभी फील हो रहे हैं ना, वो जनवरी में इतना सेफ नहीं फील हो रहे थे अपने ही रिजीम के साथ.